Shalom. All right. It's been a few weeks since we met as a congregation here at Seed of Abraham. Um, had some technical issues with the building situation. Had some issues with having restroom facilities. And now the COVID-19 uh, quarantine order is in effect. And I just decided that it's time to just start recording the messages that we've been missing, resume our teaching series, um, and get them out there online so people who were listening to them before can resume listening to them, continue learning. We left off last time and in Ruth, finished chapter 2. Today we're going to go into chapter 3. But just since it's been a few weeks, just to catch you up, we've talked about Naomi and her family being in Moab, or Moab, as most people today say. We talked about her husband dying, her sons died. She had two daughters-in-law. Both of them initially said they were going to go with her back to Israel. She gave them both chance to leave. Orpah left, went back to her family, and Ruth decided that she was going to continue dwelling or continue living, clinging to her mother-in-law. And it says and she went out to the fields. She gleaned food for them, and met Boaz, a relative, and he decided to give favor to her and to make sure that she and Naomi had plenty to eat. Starting in chapter 3, it says, Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, "My daughter, I should be seeking security for you, so that things will go well with you. Now there's Boaz, our relative. You were with his girls. He's going to be winnowing barley tonight at the threshing floor. So bathe, anoint yourself, put on your good clothes, and go down to the threshing floor. But don't reveal your presence to the man until he's finished eating and drinking. Then, when he lies down, take note of where he's lying. Later, go in, uncover his feet, and lie down. He will tell you what to do." She responded, "I will do everything you tell me." There's several things I want you to think about here. Okay? If, as I've said in previous messages, that the book of Ruth is a picture of how we are supposed to reach out and teach the non-believer and draw the non-believer into covenant. And I think we've reached a point here where we can only do so much. I tell people in mainline churches, and they say, "Well, I don't worry about this or that. My pastor handles that. My pastor does the praying. My pastor does the study." And I say, your pastor can't get saved for you. Your pastor can't get you sanctified positionally. Can't get you sanctified progressively, and he can't get you sanctified prophetically. Okay, it's just not possible. If I could get everyone listening to this recording, this podcast, whatever you want to call it, if I could get everyone out there sanctified, I wouldn't stop talking until it was done. I wouldn't stop doing whatever I have to do to get it done. But I can't. The only thing I can do is tell you the principles of the covenant and pray that he will draw you into him, and pray that your heart will be turned to him. Okay? And there has to come a point where you, if you're not already sanctified, call me up, send me an email, come and see me. Well, I can't do that right now because of COVID, but come and see me, do something, okay? And request to know, what do I do? Because I want security for you, just like Naomi wanted security for Ruth, but she couldn't do it herself. She couldn't provide for Ruth. The only thing she could do is point her in the direction of who could. Okay, her kinsman redeemer, who is a typology and a foreshadowing of Mashiach. That's the only thing she could do, and that's the only thing we as believers can do for the non-believer, is to tell them In what manner to step into the Ark of Covenant, to step into the Ark of Protection, to step into that position and become positionally sanctified, okay, to become part of the covenant. Then it's up to that person who wants to be part of the covenant to look at us and respond, I will do everything you tell me. If they do, if we tell them correctly and they do it, they will be sanctified. If we tell them incorrectly, or we tell them correctly and they don't do it, they won't be. It's that simple. Okay? She went down to the threshing floor and did everything her mother-in-law had instructed her. After Boaz was through eating and drinking and was feeling good, he went to lie down at the end of the pile of grain. She stole in, uncovered his feet, and lay down. Now, I'm sure there are people out there who are going to hear this and are going to say, well, how, if she's stealing in, if she's coming close to him and he doesn't know it, if she's uncovering his feet and lying down next to him, or at below his feet, so to speak. If you people are going to say, how can that possibly be a picture of coming in the covenant? I'll tell you how. Okay, I'll tell you how. Because he has provided the means, and the individual has to come in submission. Okay. When she came to him, she did not lie down next to him as does a wife. She laid down next or at his feet in submission, in servitude. She laid down there in such a manner as that he could either accept her or cast her off. And if he cast her off, she would be no good to any man. She would not be. She would be treated like a harlot. Okay, we all come to him dirty, like the harlot. Okay, we all come to him not deserving to lie next to him as a bride. And I'm using this as an allegory, as a picture. Okay, we come to him not worthy to be even in his presence, worthy only to be tread upon by his feet. However, if we come to him in submission and servitude, in a willingness to put ourselves beneath him, which we're already there, but we're acknowledging it, then there's the opportunity, and he promises that he will take us in as his bride. In the middle of the night, the man was startled and turned over, and there was a woman lying at his feet. He asked, "Who are you?" Okay. You know when Mashiach says that many will call on him and say, many will say, we called on you by this name, and we said, Lord, Lord, and we did this, all these things in your name, and he'll say, depart from me, I never knew you, you workers of iniquity. Boaz, in the dark, does not know Ruth, even though he's met her, talked with her, provided for her, he did not know who she was. It says, and she answered, I'm your handmaid, Ruth. Nothing presumptuous, not assuming that she was worthy, not assuming that he would accept her. Spread your robe over your handmaid, because you are a redeeming kinsman, she said. And when the non-believer comes to the point of entering the covenant, that's really the attitude. I don't deserve you, Yehovah, Elohim. I don't deserve your love. I don't deserve your forgiveness. I don't deserve your charity. I don't deserve your provision. But I beg you, place your protective covering over me, because I am your servant. He said, may Yehovah bless you, my daughter. Your latest kindness is even greater than your first, in that you didn't go after the young men, neither the rich ones nor the poor. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I will do for you everything you say, for all the city leaders among my people know that you are a woman of good character. He says, you come to me, you don't deserve what I'm about to give you, but you've asked for it, and I'm willing. And that is exactly the relationship that we enter into when we enter into covenant. Now it is true that I am a redeeming kinsman, but there is a redeemer who is a closer relative than I am. In other words, we better do this the right way. There's no sneaking into it. There's no halfway entering the covenant. Just like there was no halfway means that he could make her his bride until he went through the right process. He says, stay tonight. If in the morning he will redeem you, fine. Let him redeem you. But if he doesn't want to redeem you, then as Yehovah lives, I will redeem you. Now lie down until morning. She lay at his feet until morning. Then, before, and the complete Jewish Bible puts in the words, it was light enough that, and, and those words aren't in the text, but I do believe that it's the proper, what is indicated by the text and alluded to. It says, before it was light enough that people could recognize each other. She got up because he said, no one should know that the woman came to the threshing floor. He also said, bring the shawl you are wearing and take hold of it. She held it while he put 6 measures of barley into it. Then he went into the city. You know, when we come to Yehovah, he blesses us. Not just the first time, but every time we come to him, when we say, you know, we've been wrong. I say, I've been wrong, Elohim. I need your forgiveness. I need you to help me make this right. He never fails to give me a great blessing. Okay, and I've seen it over and over again in so many lives that I've observed. But we have to come to Him with that submissive heart. When I fail to, when I let my ego get in the way, when I let my flesh get in the way, He can't bless me. And it's true for you too. You who are listening to this podcast, if you seek His blessing, come to Him with a humbled heart, and He will give you 6 measures of barley. And that's an analogy, it's an allegory, but He will give you more than what you and your entire household can consume. And it may not be monetary, it may not be food provision, but you will have what you need, and you will have so much more in the spiritual realm than you ever have in the physical. When she came to her mother-in-law, she asked, who are you, my daughter? She told her everything the man had done for her. Then she added, he gave me these 6 measures of barley because he said to me, you shouldn't return to your mother-in-law with nothing. Naomi said, my daughter, just stay where you are until you learn how the matter comes out. For the man won't rest until he resolves the matter today. And you know, that's absolutely, again, a picture of covenant. Because our Elohim Yehovah does not rest when we come to him with a need, especially the need for sanctification. When we come to him with that need and with our arms open, he has his arms open, and he does not rest until he has sanctified us, until he has made us what he wants us to be, his children, but also his bride.